Hey everybody, it's been a little while since we did a viewer Q&A video, so let's get to it. I am horrible, absolutely terrible with names, so forgive me, but your name will appear in print down below rather than me butcher it trying to say it out loud. Over on the Raising Free-Range Rabbits video, a viewer asked, "Hi, you mentioned that you tried to secure the pen by digging down and, well, securing that. You never explained why it failed. We are new to this also and thought we might dig out an area, lay chicken wire or similar and refill. Any comment? Thanks." My comment would be that if you're going to do it right from the very beginning and make a structure that's never going to move. Ours failed because we tried using really inexpensive EMT conduit and what amounts to well, it was welded wire fencing. So the fencing itself was decent fencing, but the EMT conduit was just the wrong kind forward, or we didn't brace it down far enough, however you want to look at it. The rabbits were able to jump out. They were able to dig down. We dug down, we put down what do you call it, tin, like roofing tin, and then we built up the walls around that, and we put the walls down where we put the tin and then filled the dirt back in. And we never fully had the structure completed before we tried putting the rabbits in. And really we got the cart in front of the horse. Darn horse. If you're gonna do it, get the structure completely done and then add the rabbits to it, and just presume that the rabbits can jump over whatever fence you want to put up and put a roof on it. Over on the 3-bag easy automatic chicken feeder video was a question of how do you keep the field mice out of it. I know around here I'd have a whole family of fat mice living in there. I've never had a problem with it. That's how I keep them out. It's not a problem that I've had to address, so I don't know how to keep them out because I've never had a problem with them getting in. Maybe it's because the feeder is inside of a fairly small coop that any mice trying to get in there, the rabbits, I'm stuck on the other video, the chickens try to go after it, and so they're scared of it. I don't know, but simple fact is we've never had a problem with mice or any other kind of rodent trying to get into the chicken feeder, so it's just not a problem. I will say that we have noticed chickens tear apart lizards, so maybe mice have gotten in there and I've just never seen any evidence of it. Maybe they took care of the problem themselves. So I don't have any other suggestions for you on how to mitigate mice. Maybe the chickens will do it for you. Over on Backyard Silvopasture was asked, how many acres in your farm? Now, if I have to guess, the question there is rooted on the concept of Silvopasture typically being a very broad acreage type of approach, and you know, how many acres are you really trying to do this on? So I apologize if I'm reading into that the wrong way. The answer is, according to the survey and the deed, we live on plus or minus 6.69 acres. That said, the area that will actually be Silvopasture is probably closer to 4.5 acres. That's just a rough guess. I have not measured that out, and that's what we're going to work on. And I think that we can make a usable system, but we will have to remember to keep it proportionate. Because of the acreage, we're not talking about, you know, putting horses and cows and things like that on 10 acres at a time. We're doing it in very small sections, and so we'll have to work with it appropriately. It'll be a very key thing for us to keep track of the ratio of animals to area. On the same video, a question, your property looks a lot like mine. I am working on doing the same thing but confused on what to plant that will survive some shade during the summer months. What are your plans for pasture? Well, my plans for pasture involve a couple different things. First off, putting down some nitrogen fixers, mostly in perennial clover, as well as some annual clovers that I hope that will reseed themselves over time. The clover, not just because it's nitrogen fixing, but because we do have a beehive and we want to provide extra resources, more nectar to the bees as well. So in that aspect, the clover kind of serves a dual purpose. Also, once we start clearing out some of the smaller trees, we expect that some of the natural native grasses are going to sprout up on their own anyway, but we do want to go in there with some native grasses and sort of inoculate the area, for lack of a better word, and boost it up and let it grow back more quickly. So with that, not knowing where you live, I'm just going to say research native grasses for your city or your county or even your whole state and see what you come up with. I found plenty of resources when I did that for myself. Look into those and then go out and figure out where to buy those seed from. You're probably going to run into some cases where the seed is not as available as you would like it to be, or the price is very extreme. So for example, if you find some place that says planting this seed at I don't know, 20 pounds per acre, and you find out that that seed is $300 per 50-pound bag, you might have to step that back a little bit and remember that you're just trying to help nature get there more quickly, not that you are trying to do pasture from bare dirt. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to go out and spend the full amount of money that they would recommend for us to do, but rather we're going to do it a little bit at a time and just help nature along. All right, and lastly, over on the Bugz-Eye goggles review, chainsawing firewood, one person commented, well, not to be a jerk, but what would you expect? The foam would certainly not be bolted in, but still a nice review. You know, folks, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't write scripts for these things. I turn on a camera when I'm out to do something and I think I can film it. I turn on the camera and I just randomly spout out whatever comes on my head, out of my head. And because of that, sometimes you don't get a full thought process. And in that video, I mentioned something about how I didn't like that the foam cushioning was glued on to the plastic frame. And the commenter saying, well, what did you expect for it to be bolted in? Obviously, the glue is about the only way that you're going to get it done. Other things that come to mind that if I had expressed my thoughts a little bit better at the time would be like a rubber gasket kind of eyepiece going around the outside rather than foam. Something that you could take off, something that could be better cleaned, things like that. But for what it's worth, I've used those goggles many times and have not had any problem with the gluing that is used on the foam. So folks, when you watch the videos, please do so with a grain of salt and realize that I don't put 20 hours worth of research into every 5-minute video. Sometimes it's just, hey, I got to go outside and do this. Well, let me take the camera with me. And so sometimes my full thoughts don't get very well expressed. I hope you can understand. Well, other than the horse stealing the show, I hope that you enjoyed the video, or maybe you enjoyed the horse more than me. But I hope that that answers some of your questions. If you have any comments or questions about this video, please go ahead and add them below. Otherwise, ask any other question that you might have, and hopefully we'll bring it up on the next Q&A. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. You want to say goodbye? You're good? She's a mare of little words. We'll see you next time. You just like to steal the show, don't you? You just gonna steal the show? I'm Mr. Ed. All right, and lastly, over on the Bugz-Eye goggles.